Hey, what is up guys, I'm in a video, and today I'm going to be talking about why I think the Houston Rockets are the next super team. If you're not already aware, I do a video on every single one of the teams in the NBA on why they're the next super team. So if you're like, well, this might not happen, it's because it's a hypothetical video. I do them all for each team. I've done one of the Brooklyn Nets before, so just chill. But without further ado, without me rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. My first reason for thinking this is that they have a brand new big two. As obviously, as many people know, they traded for Chris Paul from the Los Angeles Clippers, which they needed because they had James Harden running point guard last year. And although he had one of his best years ever, it's going to help James Harden scoring and just productivity in general with just tons of passing from Chris Paul, as he's one of the most elite passers to ever live. And yeah, like I said, James Harden had a great year last year. He averaged 8.1 rebounds per game, 11.2 assists per game, 1.5 steals per game, 29.1 points per game. But adding Chris Paul, obviously that's never going to hurt you. And this dude's extremely good on defense, which your team actually kind of lacked on defense a lot. So, I mean, with adding this defensive stopper in Chris Paul and his passing to give James Harden even more points, and that's hard to do. Like I just said, he almost averaged 30 points a game. Could you imagine that with his passing to make it to where he averages 38 points a game? That would be crazy. It might not be that drastic, but I'm telling you, it's going to be extremely helpful. And I mean, you added Chris Paul. How can that not help you? But also, my second reason is actually they have probably one of the most the strongest rotation in the NBA. This team, they have the best starting five in my opinion. They have James Harden at shooting guard, Chris Paul at point guard, Trevor Ariza, who's obviously a seasoned veteran in small forward, and this dude's he's a really good shooter. He's kind of underrated. And another underrated person that they have at power forward, Ryan Anderson. This dude is a great scorer. He averaged 14 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 1 assist per game last year. He's really productive at scoring, and plus this dude's 6'10", so I mean he's really good. And then you also have a solid Clint Capella, just kind of chilling. The center's kind of weak. But then they have the Sixth Man of the Year last year. He got awarded the Sixth Man of the Year award. Eric Gordon. This dude averages 16 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, and 1 assist per game. And that's at the Sixth Man. So obviously, extremely good Sixth Man to have. And then their Seventh Man, another center who's really solid. And Nene, he's a little bit older though. He averages 9 points per game, 4 rebounds per game. No solid. So they have 7 extremely solid players. So great depth. They have extremely great depth, in my opinion, at least. And now, the biggest reason that I have, and the biggest driving factor of them last year, pretty much the vocal point of their team, is their high-powered offense. This team, they were ranked number 2 in the league with points per game, averaging 115.3 points per game, only behind number 1 Golden State Warriors. That's really good. I mean, to have an offense pretty much right next to the Golden State Warriors is amazing, and they were only 0.6 points away. So, I mean, extremely close. So, pretty much tied with the Warriors in offense. And offense, by the way, for Golden State Warriors is probably one of the best in the league. It is the best in the league. But, you wouldn't think it would even be close. But it's actually extremely close. But then also, they're the number 3. They're number 3 in assists per game in the league. And also number 1 in threes made with 1,181 and made threes last year, which is 112 more than the number 2 Cleveland Cavaliers. So they made 112 more threes than the Cleveland Cavaliers did, and they were number 2 in the league and made threes. So think about that. And then they improved their defense, like I was talking about earlier. I'm just going to touch on it a little bit more. They improved their defense dramatically with Chris Paul. Chris Paul has led the league almost 5 years since he came in the NBA, and this dude averages almost 3 steals per game his entire career. And I mean, obviously James Harden isn't known to be the best defensive player. Neither is Ryan Anderson. Neither is pretty much anyone on their team besides Trevor Ariza, and they traded away Patrick Beverley, but Chris Paul is much better on defense in my opinion. So this is pretty much why I think the Houston Rockets are going to be the next super team. So let me just recap before I end the video off. They have a new big two in Chris Paul and James Harden, which is going to be extremely deadly, because Chris Paul is now the new point guard, and James Harden won't have to run point guard anymore, and we'll be able to focus on scoring more. And they still have tons of depth, one of the most depth most depth in the NBA, in my opinion. Depth, not death. I can't speak, sorry. And they have extremely high-powered offense, being only maybe second to Golden State Warriors, and that's it. But unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for this video. So at any point, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you really, really like this video, hit the subscribe button. That would mean a lot to me also. And if you didn't like the video, don't hit the dislike button. You don't have to. You don't have to hurt my feelings. And also, comment below if you want more Super Team videos, or if you want more, like, what-if videos, or any kind of videos. I'm up to for anything. But unfortunately, like I said, that's the end of this video. So, kids, remember, never do your vegetables. Always eat your drugs. Stay safe. Wear your seatbelt. Goodbye.